Political and social commentator James Melville. James, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, is now known as Donald Trump's first buddy. He ploughed a lot of money into Trump's presidential election campaign. They say as much as $200 million. I believe that he did this because, yes, he's a right-winger in terms of his politics. He's right of centre. But I also believe he did it because he's a very, very shrewd man. And he sensed that Trump would win and it would be in his business interests to be close to the next president. So he threw himself wholeheartedly into that, and it's really worked out. He's now going to be in charge of efficiency in Washington. Anything he wants for his business, he's going to get. Now, I think he's sort of got similar ideas on this side of the Atlantic. There is word that he believes that Reform UK and Nigel Farage will form the next government in this country. Certainly, I would agree that the direction of political travel over the next few years is going to be rightwards. We're going to go right because Keir Starmer and his extreme socialism is going to alienate everyone in this country, just like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did in America. That's why Trump is in largely because people were sick and tired of extreme left-wing woke socialism. I think we'll go in the same direction. I think Elon Musk is sensing this. That's why he's so theatrically picked a fight with Keir Starmer. He's at war with the British government. Now, the word is he is prepared to put his money where his mouth is by donating to Nigel Farage's Reform UK party $100 million. And in that respect, he might succeed in transforming the face of British politics, just as he did in America. I think it's definitely on the cards.
Yeah, it's a game changer. That sort of money, politics in the UK is unheard of. I mean, just think about, the ad spend on that. I mean, and also in terms of campaign tools on the ground, one thing Reform needs to strengthen is for activist base. They can do all of that. You can get strategists in. There's a hell of a lot you can do with that sort of money. But also another point is, Musk actually, prior to the Trump thing, some of his views were more towards Democrats. He's gone on record saying that. I don't think it's about left versus right anymore. I think it's become all a bit inverted. If you look at Tulsi Gabbard or Robert Kennedy, former bulwarks of the Democrats, they're now part of the Trump government. And I think since actually COVID onwards, what we've seen is a realignment of politics in Western societies. It's not the traditional lines of left versus right. I keep saying this, I come from traditionally slightly left to centre, and I use this line often that I haven't left the left, but the left has left me. And a lot of people feel like this on the left. So there's other individuals, people like Joe Rogan's a perfect example. He came traditionally from the left, but what's happened is certain individuals on the left who have a libertarian streak, I would add, are not buying into this woke nonsense. So you've now got a real line where it's kind of the woke left versus the individuals from all walks of life who are just against this sort of woke authoritarianism. And I think that's where Musk has got to with a lot of this stuff. And a lot of people, including myself actually, have gone down that route and journey as well. So when it's framed as kind of right v left, I think it's just different now. You're getting people from different sides are forming different alignments on things. I think what Musk is doing is that he doesn't like the cancel culture. He believes in freedom of speech. I'm all for what he's trying to do on X, whereby it seems to be the only platform out there that is the town square of freedom of speech. And if you don't like something, you can either scroll down and ignore it, or you can debate against it. But to scuttle off like some have done, which is hilarious, to blue sky, because they just don't like the fact that Musk, in cahoots with Trump, have got the strings of power in America, is absolutely hilarious. And actually what would be really funny is if Elon Musk bought a media outlet in the UK.
I wouldn't rule it out. But the thing is, I think it's interesting what you're saying. I think that in America, what we've seen in terms of Trump's triumph is a rejection of this kind of extreme woke socialism that the Democrats espoused. They're sick of Kamala Harris's plans to, for example, pay for the trans surgery of male prisoners who want to change genders. This is the kind of stuff that people will say, hang on a second, this isn't the sort of nonsense I want to waste my taxpayer dollar on or my taxpayer pound on. I want sensible, common sense policies. So, Trump is saying things like, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take these 10 million illegal immigrants who've broken into our country and I'll deport them. And people go, that sounds like a good idea. I mean, he's going to have a hard task doing that. But it is a rejection of the liberal, elite, metropolitan nonsense that Biden and Harris stand for. And on this side of the Atlantic, Keir and his cabinet crew, a bunch of student politics. And I suspect that the more of Keir Starmer we get, the more this country will lurch right. And Nigel Farage and Reform UK will be standing there waiting to catch the electorate. And with $100 million in their sales from Elon Musk, it could be a very interesting few years.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at by-elections or local elections, the incumbent in government tends to get defeated in lots of these. And then you look at the option, it's quite often a protest vote. So what are the options? Well, the Tories are still trying to work out who they are. And then you've got maybe in some rural seats, Lib Dems always do quite well. But then there's Reform. They've come through on this, in particular the Northern Heartlands. If you look at the dynamic and the breakdown of the last general election, Labour won with a big majority, but there's a lot of low-hanging fruit there for Reform because Reform finished second in a lot of those northern seats. Yeah. And actually quite a few seats in the southeast as well. And so in terms of, if you've got a government that already is tanking at record levels in the polls, then Reform on by-election after by-election in certain areas, combined with the local elections coming up next year, and then ultimately general election, it doesn't take much to work out what direction of travel that they're going in.
Reform UK speak the kind of language of the common man that is going to resonate. I mean, Reform UK will solve the migrant crisis. All the lefties in North London, Guardian readers, won't like it, but they will solve it. Reform UK will stop charging us a fortune to chase pipe dreams about net zero and saving the planet. They'll stop doing that. That will resonate. And as we continue into this world of Miliband, Starmer, Cooper lunacy, left-wing lunacy, socialist claptrap